So my name is Ben Wilson. I'm a personal trainer. I help people get in shape. I help to improve people's lives. That's what motivates me in the mornings. As far as religion goes, I would probably describe myself as spiritual. So I believe there is something after death, but I would probably describe myself as anti-religion, in that I feel that religions just represent sort of a metaphor of something that's deeper and below. And I feel that over the years, the centuries, power-hungry people have used religion as a tool. They've corrupted people. They've caused, trouble across the globe. That's my general view. On the flip side to that, I like religious people. I respect religious people. I feel when I meet someone who's religious, they've got a desire to improve who they are. So slight contradictions in there, but I think it stands. As far as my experiences with religion, I've traveled a lot. I've been to over 50 countries. So I've been to different, mosques. I've been to, cathedrals. I've seen different belief systems, met people. So I'm always fascinated by what motivates people, how religion integrates to their life. So for me, I'm spiritual. So what that would say to me is there is something after death, but I feel it's beyond that comprehension. So I think too much is like picture of a man sitting on a cloud or something. But for me, it's like, it's just beyond comprehension. So I don't need to try and understand it. It's a feeling within that there is more. The time doesn't exist as we perceive it, so you cannot conceptualize your mind around it. It's a little bit like reading physics. When you get into deep physics, you don't really know what it means. You understand it comes back to mathematics, but that's my general belief. Spiritual, there is something after life, but not something that I can comprehend mentally, nor do I need to. So today I'm going to react to some videos for Islam Reacts. I've never watched them before. I've never really watched anything of scriptures. So I'm interested to see how I feel and what they are covering.
والفجر وليال عشر والشفع والوتر والليل إذا يسر هل في ذلك قسم لذي حجر ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بعاد إرم ذات العماد التي لم يخلق مثلها في البلاد وثمود الذين جابوا الصخر بالواد وفرعون ذي الأوتاد الذين طغوا في البلاد فأكثروا فيها الفساد فصب عليهم ربك سوط عذاب إن ربك لبالمرصاد فأما الإنسان إذا ما ابتلاه ربه فأكرمه ونعمه فيقول ربي أكرمن وأما إذا ما ابتلاه فقدر عليه رزقه فيقول ربي أهانن كلا بل لا تكرمون اليتيم ولا تحاضون لما وتحبون المال حبا جما كلا إذا دكت الأرض دكا دكا وجاء ربك والملك صفا صفا وجيء يومئذ بجهنم يومئذ يتذكر الإنسان وأنى له الذكرى يقول يا ليتني قدمت لحياتي فيومئذ لا يعذب عذابه أحد ولا يوثق وثاقه أحد يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي.
My first thoughts of that was, well, immediately it took me just back into history, back to the time 2,000 years ago of the pyramids, 3, 4, 5, whatever it would have been. And I went to Turkey this year and I went to a museum where they talked about the religious wars, how Muslims were getting killed, murdered, attacked by the Christians, and then how it went back the other way. So that sort of took me back to those tough, difficult times that it was back in years gone by. I like the passage and how about everyone, when they get good things, they think about, oh, great, God's rewarded me. Thank you this, thank you that. But when the bad times come, they feel they've done something wrong. Well, actually, it's all part of the experience of life. You should live with the ups and downs, not just about the good things. I like that. That resonated with me. That passage did. Obviously, talking about the powers that have been destroyed in the past, as far as modern day, well, I'm a bit of a positive person when it comes to the modern day. Right now, it's the best time to be alive in the history of humanity. Most people don't seem to think that, but for me, it is. And everything seems to be going in the right direction. I know everyone doom glooms, but reality is we have the least people killed from war at the moment, the least of everything. Now, it's basically the least worse the world has ever been. You can make that argument, but for me, I think things are moving in the right direction. If you just think 100 years ago, millions were getting called up to wars. Now that if there's any war, we're all in outcry that it should be stopped. That's a sign that's going forward. There's still a lot of suffering on the planet, but for me, it's heading in the right direction. So I don't have a fear of a superpower starting. I feel wars are on the way out. In 50 years, that will be hopefully actually shown in the real world. Yeah, I like this concept around money, wealth, and how people think that wealth is a sign of good things, and then they criticize the the bad. For me, definitely when it comes to the world now, are we in the end stage of capitalism, as in is the system about to be broken? One thing I'd say about this thing is it talks about how wealth goes up and down. I've been in a unique position where I've trained a lot of super wealthy people. The problem is relative, so if somebody's got lots and lots of money and then they get out to here, fair bit of money, to them they feel poor. So these cycles, I think a lot of people, when they read that, will think, okay, maybe that super billionaire is going to be down on the streets begging for food. That's not what will happen. What will happen is maybe they've lost half of their billionaire paper wealth and they feel poor. So I think it's a testing thing, but I feel life does go up and down in that sense. So I like those concepts. I like the idea that you just have to, not just celebrate the good, but live with both and how you react to that. So the concept of the Day of Judgment in general, I don't overly like the Day of Judgment concept. The idea that we sort of tell kids that if they do something wrong, there's this time in the future that they're going to be punished for eternal after and so forth. I don't know if that makes a better world. I know maybe that's the concept behind it. So I don't love that as an idea. And it just I know it's within most religions, and then what you can live a horrible life and do lots of evil and then ask for forgiveness on the last day before you die, and then that's all okay. For me, that doesn't sit overly well in that sense. Of course, it depends on the interpretation. The verse says you'll be judged on your whole life and how it had been. Well, then that gives a lot of people, what's the word? Comfort to the people who are doing wrong in this world will be punished in the next. But, I've decided to describe myself as anti-religious for this very reason. People who are corrupt, people who are power hungry, use these things in scriptures to take advantage of people, to take advantage of the world. And I feel messages like this, they scare people who are going to be generally good, and the people who are going to do all the wrong stuff, they don't care anyway, so they just ignore it. So I don't know if I'm really on board with the Day of Judgment concept that's in so many religions. Now I was going to sum up what this was all about. It's basically saying your forefathers had a very tough time. They fought, they died, they were punished in religious wars. They have now, survived. The religion has survived, and now you have to live your life with it. And you're going to go through ups and downs, and you don't want to just associate with the ups, because life is testing you through both. And whatever happens, or however you live your life, you will be judged by the end of it. That would be the sum up for me of this passage. Questions I'll be asking for Muslim people would be, during these difficult times, as I mentioned, when the wealth goes down, how do you remind yourself of this sort of message? And what are your fears? What are your feelings about having a life that is judged on a day at the end? How does that actually play out in your day-to-day living and day-to-day feelings?